Hello class, here is our first homework helper video for, let me go back so we can look again, Module 2, Lesson 4. So here is our homework for today. Let me get in the right setting. Oh, undo that. Okay, here we are. Let me get my pen out. Okay, so this is one of the lessons we learned in the past week about kilograms. As we can remember, 1 kilogram can be broken down or decomposed into grams. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Then we have 100 grams, 10 grams, and 1 gram. And we can break these down into groups of 10. So let me fill this in. We have 10, and remember the multiplication sign means groups of. So with 1,000, I can break this down into 10 groups of 100 grams. Just like we made on our 10 frames. We had 100 grams in each. Now 100 grams, I could break this down into 10 groups of 10 grams. And then 10 grams, I can break this down into 10 groups of 1 gram. And then of course we just have 1 gram, and we're not going to decompose that any further. It's just 1 gram. So we have these neat little homework helpers that go home with you, so mom and dad can help you with your homework. It explains, gives you example problems and all that, so these are really helpful. But let's get down to the homework, and you follow along with me. Number 1, use the chart to help you answer the following questions. So I want you to do what I just did above. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. And if you had a chart like this on your test, I would like you to write this out as well because it'll help you with the following questions. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, or 10 groups of 100 grams. 100 grams is 10 groups of 10 grams. Or 100 is just 10 groups of 10. 10 grams is 10 groups of 1 gram, and then we just have 1 gram. Now let's get to our questions. Isaiah puts a 10-gram weight on a pan balance or a balance. A balance has 2 equal sides. So as we've seen in class, this is a type of scale where it has a little board and it could tip over on one side if the weights are not equal. So we want both sides to be equal for it to lay flat like this. How many 1 gram weights does he need to balance or make them equal on the scale? So we already know, let's look at what we know. I underlined it. He already put 10 grams on the scale. So let's draw that and write out what we know. He already put 10 grams on here. How many 1 gram weights does he need to make it equal or balanced? So how many 1 grams do we need to make 10 grams? Well, let's go up here and look. We have 10 grams right here, and it's telling us 10 groups of 1 gram would make 10 grams. So on your picture, I want to see 10 groups of 1 gram to make both sides equal, because 10 groups of 1 gram is going to be equal to 10 grams. I want you to do that on your own, and I'll see you whenever you bring your homework to school. Let's go to the next one, B. Next, Isaiah puts 100 gram weight, or a 100 gram weight, on a pan balance again. So it sounds like we're going to be doing the same problem. We were going to want to make something equal to 100 grams. How many 10-gram weights does he need to balance the scale or make it equal? Let's draw our picture again of a pan balance. Anytime you see a pan balance, I want you to put a equal sign in the middle because we're making both sides equal. How many 10-gram weights does he need to balance the scale? He already put 100, so let's draw out what we know. He put a 100-gram weight, so let's put 100 grams. Now, how many 10-gram weights do we need to make both sides equal? Let's go up here to our chart that's helping us. I know 10 can go into 100 10 times because 10 groups of 10 grams make 100 grams, right? So 10 groups of 10 grams would equal 100 grams. So over on this side, I want to see 10 groups of 10 grams that will also weigh 100 grams. C. Isaiah then puts a kilogram weight on his balance. So we know we're using a balance again. Let's go ahead and draw it. Put our equal sign in the middle because we want both sides to be equal. How many 100-gram weights does he need to balance the scale or make it equal on both sides? Now, in order for us to make a kilogram equal to grams, we first need to decompose this or break it down into grams. So we have grams on both sides. Now, 1 kg or kilograms, we know is the same as 1,000 grams. How many times can 100 go into 1,000? We already wrote it on our chart up here. A kilogram is 1,000 grams, and we know 100 can go into 1,000 10 times because 10 groups of 100 make 1,000. So on this side, I want to see 10 groups of 100 that would be equal to 1,000. Now down here for D, I want you to write your own sentence. I want it to be a full sentence. Capital letter in the beginning, period at the end. And you'll probably need 1 to 2 sentences to explain what's the pattern you notice in parts A through C. What's happening here that we're repeating over and over again? So I want to see your own sentence on this one. Let's move over to the next page, page 104. Number 2, read each digital scale. Write each weight using the word kilogram or gram for each measurement. Now this one is relatively easy because it's giving you the answer right here. All we're doing is reading a digital scale. So let's look at the digital scale. It says write each weight using the word. So we're not using the abbreviation, we're using the word kilogram or gram. So what we're wanting to see here is, can you read these abbreviations? Can you tell which one means kilogram and which one means gram? So on the first one, we have 3. We know that's our number. And we're going to look, is this kilogram or gram? It says kg, which means kilogram. You'll have to ignore my terrible handwriting. I'm using a mouse. but I'll do my best. Now we have 6 kg here. I'm going to let you do that one on your own, and I'll do one more example with G or gram. So we're reading the scale. It says 450 is our number. And we have G here, which we know means gram. So I'm going to write out the whole word because that's what the instructions asked us to do. So we have kilograms and grams, and I want you to look carefully at each digital scale and see if it says kg or G before you write down your answer. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope this was helpful, and I will see y'all at school.